The year is 2005. Anakin turns to the dark side. YouTube debuts, and we couch jump for Mariah, McDreamy, and a girl with a dragon tattoo. T-minus 20. Rewind 20 years with Joe and Mel.
Week 4, September 2005.
T-minus 20.
Hey, what do you think this is, a talk show?
T-minus 20.
It's an icebreaker. Don't judge me yet. This is bananas. Now you will come home.
20. My question is, who approved that shit?
Do you see where this is going?
20.
Not really.
20.
Welcome aboard your hot take time machine. It's a little podcast we like to call T-minus 20 that rewinds to this week in history 20 years ago, covering everything news, movies, pop culture, all of the stuff that was fit to print back in 2005, because they still printed stuff. I mean, there were things on the internet, but they printed stuff.
Well, you printed things off the internet.
Exactly. I'm just going to go and print this off the internet so I can show all my friends.
I did that once.
Really?
When Wu-Tang brought out a new album and I printed
it off the internet.
The information off the internet. It was about 20 pages of information.
Right. With your hosts, Joe and Mel. Hello, Mel.
Hello. Yes. Welcome. We're in September now. September 2005. 4th to the 10th this week is what we're talking about.
Well, today we're going to do something pretty bold. Today we're going to replace it.
What's Steve
We're going to
Jobs?
replace it with something new.
That's ridiculous. What is Steve Jobs going to replace with new back in 2005? Well, it was an iPod.
Big news.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Oh, do you remember that moment in the wake of Hurricane Katrina? Bit of a cringe moment, but I think history would have been kinder to Kanye if he had just left well enough alone and stuck with that stuff, because he made some pretty good calls in the wake of Hurricane Katrina this time 20 years ago. And look, a very special thing, we've discovered a lost track from one Michael Jackson.
There's no need to say it right, 'cause I know you're always on my mind.
Let me tell you, there is more to that than meets the eye, or the ear for that matter.
Also Katrina related, I believe.
It is very much Katrina. It was a single that they were going to do to raise money for it, and it's been missing for a long time, but I've found it.
Interesting.
Or have I?
Something that's been missing from our screens for a long time, but it's just had a documentary come out. I think it was on Netflix.
Yes.
The Biggest Loser.
Yes, it was a limited series documentary.
A retrospective look from the view of some of the contestants.
Yeah.
One of the trainers, some of the producers. I think there was even a doctor there.
Yep.
That was a really interesting piece to watch.
It was
20 years
horrifying.
on, wasn't it? And we've spoken about The Biggest Loser because it aired around 20 years ago. I think, a few episodes ago, we had a good chat about it. But watching it from the perspective of the contestants and actually hearing what really went on,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's a wonder people didn't die.
Yeah.
Like when you watch it, somebody did. I think somebody did die, but not for very long.
Yeah, they brought him back.
They brought him back.
Close. It was a close call.
And then they still threw him in the house and made him excellent. I would have thought, being as litigious as what America is, they would have dotted their I's and crossed their T's, but it doesn't.
They would have signed a pretty good waiver.
They must have.
Said,
there must have been a lot of legal stuff done in the
doesn't
back
matter
end.
if we die, that's
so
okay.
to speak. Exactly. And people are quite desperate, and that's what they sort of tapped into for that show.
800 calories a day.
800 calories a day. That's
8
nothing.
hours of exercise.
Yeah, 100
No
calories an hour.
carbs.
Sure. Yeah.
No drinking water too, because you don't want that water weight when you're weighing in. And the challenges, I forgot just how gross some of those challenges were and how they were designed to frame the contestants as greedy and gluttonous.
Well, because they'd tempt them with food. They'd dangle food in front of them. It'd be bad food, and it'd be
but
like
they'd say you'd win immunity if you scoff all this food.
If you made the choice, or even worse, I think even worse, because they picked them up and they took them away from their families, and they didn't kind of know for how long or what was happening. And there was one particular challenge where it was like, if you break your diet and eat all of this food and let your team down, we'll let you go and see your family. So how important is all this to you? And I'd be like, well, give me a pie. Give me all the pies.
All
I'm
the
seeing
bread.
my family.
There's some nice looking
monsters. It was
breadsticks.
like they were doing things that I think would have been outlined as illegal in the Geneva Convention. I'm not even joking.
But we jumped aboard the 12-week transformation bandwagon ourselves. And it's
Hook,
interesting.
line and sinker. Yeah, I used
really
to
interesting.
joke that I used to eat snacks and watch that show. Now I feel just as cruel as the people that made it.
But it's really interesting to look retrospectively at what the fitness industry looks like. They were different times again.
You have to say, yes, like we know better, so we do better.
Yeah.
But we
yeah.
didn't, I guess we didn't know better back then. Maybe we secretly did know better, but we didn't want to.
It was a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
Smaller was better.
Uh-huh.
Cardio, how many calories can you burn? It was all about the calorie burn.
Oh, the calorie burn and the cardio.
1,200 calories a day is what we were doing on those.
Yeah. Yeah, like I did it. And I did it well. And I lost, I think somewhere around 30 kilos in 12 weeks.
And it was like protein.
It was something crazy like
steamed
that.
vegetables.
Like I was losing, I think a couple of times I lost like nearly 3 kilos in a week. And I was like, oh, that's a bit of a worry.
Yeah.
And then most times it was like a kilo or so a week. But it was like all up, I think I'd got down by about, I'm fairly certain it was around 28 to 30 kilos.
Carbs were the enemy.
Mm.
You'd you'd work out so that you could have a meal out. You had to earn your meals.
Yeah.
It was just such a different mindset, whereas now it's all about eating to fuel your body.
Well, I've learned a lot.
Have something to eat before you go and lift. And it's all about weightlifting. It's not about the calorie burn. It's about building that muscle.
Yeah, for now.
Fueling your body.
I hope we're not having this conversation like in 20 years time.
It's back to cardio.
Well, we've done weights, to try and sort of stave off aging, but we've completely f***ed ourselves. And because that's what happens. Like I screwed up my metabolism really, really badly. And that was just for me. I mean, everybody's built different, so you can't do this one size fits all kind of stuff. You've got to do what works for you. But I screwed up my metabolism really, really badly. And I feel like I'm now back to where I was when I finished that 12-week program. But what I've been doing is like training.
Yeah.
Like using lots of discipline, abstaining from drinking alcohol often, or as often as I was, and, doing the weights and stuff. And it's taken about 18 months to go and lose almost the same amount of weight again.
Weeks,
so the same amount of weight that I lost in 12 weeks, I've lost in 18 months. And I feel it's much more sustainable. I've eaten more than I would have ever dreamed of eating in that sort of that program where it's basically like we're going to put you in a POW camp and not feed you and work you to the bone. And it's much nicer. And, going to the gym is actually quite a pleasant experience because it's just cruisy. Just listen to your tunes and you pick heavy shit up and you put it down again and then you go home. You feel a sense of accomplishment.
You do. And I was thinking back to what we used to wear as well 10, 12, 14 years ago. Do you remember I had a tank top and it had like a little tiny square pocket to put my iPod Nano in? Yeah. And then it had a hole up the top so I could thread the wired earbuds up through so that they wouldn't be smacking me in the face when I was running. Yes. And the chip that you put in your shoe to count your steps.
Oh, all of those things.
The polar strap that
I used to have the strap, the
almost cut your circulation off.
It's the most accurate way to monitor your heart rate because that was the thing. They were like, get your heart rate monitor and all of that business and get into the red zone and all of that sort of stuff. And it's you know what's funny about that though is because I'm back down to the weight that I was, I kept all of my old gym gear, so I'm just wearing the same shit. Are we now fitness influencers because we've had a conversation like that?
Oh, absolutely. Join our 12-week body transformation.
Yes, I need to develop a macro calculator.
Some recipes. And
yes, download my app.
Yeah.
Yes, sign up or whatever you got to bloody do. I don't know.
Peddle some weird supplement that's going to transform everyone's bodies.
Yes.
Perfect.
Anyway, it's the Hatches, Matches and Dispatches clue time. A little clue that we're going to play now. For a celebrity, I think birth, death or marriage, this week it was a bit spare. So I think we just had like a birthday. Which is what we do. So if we can't find anything of note, we'll just do a celebrity birthday. So a celebrity.
It's just as important. Thank you.
Exactly.
Like you're diminishing people's birthdays.
I'm not diminishing. I'm just saying it's for the purpose of the segment. Yes, I am, because that's not what it's cracked up to be from week to week, and we're doing the best we can.
Okay.
A celebrity having a birthday who said this.
Just kidding. Environmental regulations are job killers. Yeah. I'm a small business owner, I know.
It's really difficult and nobody is going to get it. But we will find out who that person is at the end of the show.
We obviously spoke last week and I think possibly the week before around Hurricane Katrina, but obviously still in the news for many, many weeks to come because of the response or lack thereof. And this week on the 4th of September, we had Condoleezza Rice visiting Alabama after Hurricane Katrina.
This is where it gets really heated, and it's because of the imagery that I think is being presented in the media. Now that they've been able to get the media into a lot of these areas that were cut off, they're really starting to understand the devastation, especially in the poorer parts of Alabama, for example, where it's just black residents stranded and a huge national conversation starts about race and poverty and government neglect.
Yeah, particularly the slow response from FEMA became a pretty major scandal for the Bush administration. Rice herself faced criticism for being spotted shopping for expensive shoes in New York during the crisis, which added to that real sense of disconnect. But I think Alabama is it's where she's from, isn't it? So she went out there to visit in the wake.
Yeah, and she addressed the criticism that the government's slow response was racially biased. Now, this particular grab is just sort of more about her sentiment in the wake of Katrina. She was discussing it much further down the track, but she's pretty much held the same line that nobody, especially the president, would have left people unattended on the base of race.
What really did make me angry was the implication that some people made that somehow President Bush allowed this to happen because these people were black. And for somebody to say that about the President of the United States, a President of the United States who I know well and a President of the United States who is my friend, I was appalled and I couldn't believe that people didn't challenge it.
Yeah. Condi, just sticking up for the boss.
But it wasn't really working. Most people believed that race and class absolutely played a role in the response. And her comment was seen as tone deaf by some, as well as an attempt to defend Bush against this growing backlash. And the very next day, in fact, Hillary Clinton, who was then Senator for New York, and probably thinking about running into the future, ramped things up by calling for a full 9/11-style independent inquiry into the government's response.
Yeah, but I think this isn't just about FEMA or George Bush. This is about the whole system not being prepared, warnings being ignored, and then also obviously the racial and class disparities that were exposed in the wake of the storm. And I think she was really playing into the public opinion. That's what people wanted to hear. She was like, this is bigger than bad luck. It's bad governance. Critics are like, yeah, she's getting ready for a presidential run. And again, this is sort of a conversation that she had much later on, but the sentiment remains the same.
You know, the first thing I say, and I've said it publicly and I've said it privately, is that I apologize and I am embarrassed that our government so mistreated our fellow citizens. A natural disaster over which we have, no control. It's an act of God, happened, but it was turned into a national disgrace and an international embarrassment.
Yeah. So again, that was the line that she was towing for that. And the cynics would, and the cynic in me was also like, well, of course she's going to go for a presidential run at some stage in the near future. I think it was still a while before Hillary did that. And
she wasn't the only one that had something to say. We had the Katrina relief telethon a few days later as well. Kanye West decided to ad-lib a little bit during the telethon.
I think you got to set the scene for this because Mike Myers is he's Canadian. He's probably the whitest guy on the planet, or one thereof, and he's standing next to Kanye, and they're obviously reading the auto cue. And everyone knows.
He was reading the auto cue.
Mike was reading the auto cue. Kanye, not so much.
There's now over 25 feet of water where there was once city streets and thriving neighborhoods.
I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. If you see a white family, it says they're looking for food. And you know it's been 5 days because most of the people are black. And even for me to complain about, I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before even giving a donation. So now I'm calling my business manager right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give, and just to imagine if I was down there, and those are my people down there. So anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people, the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
You got to get a body language expert to actually look at that. Like the footage, Mike Myers' face.
I could see him touching his face at one point with his hand, and I think he was gesturing for help.
Signal. That's like his safety word.
I think it was a signal of somebody, please
get me the hell
cut
out
the
of
feed.
here.
Please just do
Get me out of
something.
here.
Those are not the words on the auto cue that he is saying right now, and I'm scared.
Oh, well, they did. They cut to Chris Tucker, and Chris Tucker's just like, oh, and then starts doing his bit. I have to say, I was 100% with Kanye on this.
Yeah.
I thought this was fantastic.
Yep.
You could hear how nervous he was.
Yeah.
He realizes he's got a platform.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you got to admire the moxie. He's like, I'm going for it. I'm
Yeah.
going to say my piece. I've got the platform. I'm going to say what I think. And sure as eggs, Kanye, being Kanye, he did. And I think his message may have been a bit sensational. It's like he was talking about, I think, rolling the army in to come and shoot us and things like that. He didn't articulate it very well, but obviously National Guard had been deployed and people who were looting were getting shot, and it was pretty crazy out there. And he kind of tried to bring a little bit of that into the studio.
Yeah.
And people were just like, what? And everyone was like, oh, that's crazy, Kanye. But I think the guy had a point.
I think he was onto something, and it's an interesting time for him to do this too, because he's only just starting to kind of become popular. He's had the album release.
Yeah.
That could really have destroyed his career.
Yeah, well,
quite
I mean,
easily.
if you, but the thing was, it was the fallout from Katrina was as plain as the nose on your face, and it was because the media were getting in there and they were doing what the media do best and reporting. You know, it wasn't. This is not a time of like fake news or stuff that is crafted on the internet or narratives being pushed to people based on preferences. This was all just out there,
This is on
and
the ground
in your face.
footage. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was right. So there were over 1 million people displaced across the affected states. Black people made up 44%.
Yeah.
In New Orleans specifically, 175,000 black residents were evacuated, but only 100,000 returned, which then shifted the racial makeup of the area significantly. Mortality rates for black adults were 1.7 to 4 times higher than white adults, which shows the unequal impact. And things like infrastructure, income, transportation inequalities, needing to evacuate, the survival chances weren't the same for everybody.
No, it's not a level playing field.
No.
They don't have the same opportunities over there as what maybe a middle class American white family would have. They just don't. That's the reality of the situation. Poor infrastructure, low income, really bad transportation.
Yep.
You know, which is a massive thing when you've got to evacuate. And it as soon as you combine just those three things, like your survival chances are so much lower.
And you're looking at areas that are often neglected by things like city planning and better disaster preparedness as well.
Yeah.
when you look at some of the more affluent communities, they are better positioned to evacuate and afterwards to rebuild as well. They've got the insurance, they've got the money, they can rebuild.
Yeah,
Not the case
and a
in
lot of
these
it's
other areas.
privatised. Like there's so much stuff that is privatised over there that it's like if you've got the money, you're okay, and if you don't, you miss out.
The commission, the 9/11 style commission that Hillary was looking for, never actually occurred.
No.
But there were a lot of congressional hearings and reports that in the end confirmed what most people suspected, bungles on every level of government.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a complete disaster in every sense of the word. Let's go to something a little bit lighter. Let's go to Austria. Let's go to somebody who was a disgruntled German woman. Now, you don't want to tick off a woman at the best of times. I would argue that you particularly don't want to tick off a German woman. And this German woman in Austria was particularly confronted and ticked off about a Roy Lichtenstein painting called Nudes in the Mirror. So much so that on the 5th of September, she decided to attack it. Now, Nudes in the Mirror, Lichtenstein was that pop artist. So it was that comic book newspaper print style.
with the dots.
Larger than life, really bold, dot matrix kind of stuff, strong colours. I love his stuff. I did when I was in high school, I did a big I studied.
Oh, you did an
Lichtenstein.
assignment on him. Okay. Well, you're
Wrote
well
an
versed
essay.
to tell us about Nudes
Big
in the
fan,
Mirror.
yeah.
What happened in Nudes in the Mirror?
It's a 1994 painting by Lichtenstein.
Was
It was
there
part
bush?
of his it was part
How
of his late
nude
nude
were
series.
Nudes in the Mirror?
It's a full scale take on that whole voyeurism thing. So it's reflections. It shows a nude lady looking into a mirror, rendered in that Ben-Day dots and comic strip style that he has. I'd hardly call it erotic. It was more suggestive than everything.
I was
Because
thinking
it's
maybe
very-
that's why she was outraged.
It's quite sleek.
Maybe
There's-
she was offended by the boobs.
very
and the-
stylistically bold, but not graphic, if that makes sense.
Okay.
More, I think, PG than.
You'd give it a PG.
Yeah, I wouldn't rate it R.
Not
Yeah.
R, not X or
not
anything
at
like
all.
that. Okay, good.
Not at all. But it was it's sort of valued between 4 and 6 million euros, according to varying reports. And this woman just had the with it and decided that she was going to vandalise it.
Well, she didn't hate it because of the nudity. She felt that it was a fake. She came in, so she had a bag and smuggled in a jackknife as well as a screwdriver and red spray paint while visiting the Austrian, what was it called? I'm going to get you to
The
say that.
Kunsthaus
Seeing you studied him.
The Kunsthaus Bregenz, which means House of in Bregenz. The Kunsthaus. Yeah.
Austria. So it's the final day of the show and she comes in and she slashes the canvas 4 times.
It feels like a bad unmasking in a like a detective movie or a murder mystery, like, you know, where the detective is solving the mystery and they got the room together and he's calling everyone out, and then he's like, and they were wearing this fake beard, but it's actually a real beard.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So she slashed it 4 times, 12 inches long for each cut. Didn't actually destroy the painting, just damaged it.
No,
because
did a
we
fair
had
bit of damage though.
We had a staff member and a brave visitor who restrained her before
not
more
the
damage
Lichtenstein.
could be done. And while
Yes.
they were restraining her, she was screaming out that the painting wasn't authentic. It wasn't genuine. So she was doing something about it. However,
thought it was a fake.
the exhibition curator, Rudolf Sagmeister, immediately refuted it, insisting it was the real deal. She was charged with grave property damage. She also attacked the law enforcement officers during questioning. She scratched one officer in the face and bit another on the leg.
You see these people go into art galleries these days and they do those things where they splash
With the spray paint, yeah.
Oh, and
that makes me feel really upset.
It's really unnerving. It's like, oh,
you can't do that.
It's just the naughtiest thing, you know, because we live in a town in Canberra where they've got, you know, galleries and stuff like that, and I think it's a real privilege to go and visit those cultural institutions and look at the paintings and check out the culture and stuff. And there's always someone in there watching you, and there's always like that invisible line.
I always
that you
feel
can't
guilty if I
cross.
step a little bit too close.
There's a laser and a little alarm
Yeah.
sort of beeps, and then the security guard comes over and is like, "Excuse me, can you step back?"
Yeah.
You know, and then there's, you know, psycho German woman with a box cutter powder. It's going to town there. It's really unnerving. So when I see the people, did they, when they throw
was
like
it was there tomato soup thrown on something
Yeah,
recently
wasn't it the
or
Mona
something?
Lisa?
Yeah, something like that. It was one that it was behind glass.
Yeah, well, thank goodness.
They could clean it off. But yeah.
I mean, what would she do when she walked into the gift shop and saw all the prints? The souvenirs. These are all fakes, and she started ripping them up. Big launch in the world of technology and innovation on the 7th of September. Steve Jobs is up on the stage, strutting his stuff, working the room, making people applaud and get excited. Every time he pulls something out of his pockets, people cheer, or every time he puts something on a podium, people cheer, and there was no different on this date.
Now, let's go back to the beginning, because we started this all with 1,000 songs in your pocket, right? We started it with the original iPod. And then we carried 1,000 songs in your pocket over to the iPod mini. Well, now we're going to replace the iPod mini with a new player, an entirely new ground-up design that also has 1,000 songs in your pocket. And it's called the iPod Nano. 1,000 songs in your pocket, the iPod Nano. So, let's get a camera. I've got a pocket right here. Now, this pocket's been the one that your iPod's gone in, traditionally. The iPod and the iPod mini fit great in there. You ever wonder what this pocket's for?
Oh, it's the little pocket. The little pocket on the jeans.
No one
I've
knows
always
what it's
wondered
for.
that. Well, now we know, because this is the new iPod Nano.
Yes, the crowd go ballistic. Listen to them. Control yourselves. Somebody get security up in here. It was just amazing. So, I mean, I actually like his style here, because he's got that thing, that little pocket in the jeans.
Relatable. None of us know what that pocket's
Nobody
for.
knows what it's for. And classic Jobsy. This is what it's for. It fits your iPod Nano. And do you reckon, I just wonder what the brainstorming session, there's like all these engineers that are just like sweating bullets. They're completely exhausted because he just keeps pushing them to innovate and iterate and keep on innovating and keep on iterating. He's like, all right, you've done that. You've done this. I like the size of both of them. They're nice and small. I want you to go smaller. And they're like, what? How small, Jobsy? Like, come on. He's like, I want it to fit in that little change pocket in my jeans.
It's a change pocket, is it?
That's what I think it's for, change. Just put your change in there.
You only fit 5-cent pieces in there. What if you had a 50?
I don't know. Anyway, it's the Nano pocket now anyway, isn't it? It's got a new title.
That's what we should call it.
And then, so they're all like, oh, okay, Mr. Jobs, and off they go, and they go and make the iPod Nano.
I think the interesting thing too with this one, so they would have been really tired, and everyone was really surprised because I think they'd only recently released what was the other one? The Mini. That had only been out for a little while. And then he's like, nah, scrap it. We're going full Nano. Get rid of the Mini.
Yeah.
And so everyone who had a Mini would have been pretty shitty.
I think it had the same capacity, the Nano. I think that was the thing. It had that. It had a 1.5-inch colour screen, so you could look at things really small, which seemed annoying. That'd be like watching a movie on a postage stamp. And I don't think you'd watch a movie. It was just browsing your album art and your photos. I think there was a 2 gig version and a 4 gig version, so you could have 500 or 1,000 songs, 14 hours of battery. Although my Nano's battery itself fairly soon after use. I think I must have charged it wrong or something. Click wheel navigation. My Nano was a couple of generations.
Is that the one I had too? The little square. Yeah. Yes.
It came in black or white, no more mini colours, which was a bit controversial for people. And it used flash memory instead of a hard drive. So that meant it was faster and didn't skip or anything when you jogged.
Yes.
Because there was nothing spinning in there.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tech went wild.
They loved it.
We loved it. Some people complained that it scratched easily, particularly the black model, and there was no video playback. But overall, cemented Apple's dominance in the MP3 market, had sold over 20 million units
already. This is before Nano. That was just iPod in general.
Yeah, and then Nano obviously kept the momentum rolling. So it was $200 for the 2 gig and $250 for the 4 gig.
Yeah.
And so 18 months old was what the Mini was. So it was quite shocking to people that he basically replaced it so quickly. But it did show that they were willing to kill off products just to bring in new ones.
Well, I think that was that step ahead of the competitors as well. This is why people were always chasing them, because they're just like, next thing. And it was pretty cool. Everyone wanted one. And I think they were like, if we launch something new each year and it's just an iteration on the other thing,
people will,
and we just change it, tweak it slightly, people will keep buying it, especially if I do these crazy keynotes where I just show them sliding
things
into my little pocket.
Yes. What else can Jobsy fit in his pocket?
Or what can he pull out even? Rabbits out of hats, hairs out of asses, who knows?
Interesting though, 2005, we've got 1,000 songs in your little weird pocket. Today, you can stream 100 million songs instantly on Apple Music.
Sure, but you don't own any of them. You just rent them.
But you don't have to rip them into the library and then transfer them into something else and then plug something in. And it was such an ordeal getting things on your iPod back in the day.
It was. You know what's difficult
You sign in with the wrong Apple ID and then you get your partner's music. It's not your music. Like, why am I listening to this?
It's funny. I've got a whole, I love physical media. I still really like the idea of, and even a CD, a CD, a vinyl record, and now even a DVD. I've got lots of music DVDs that are just not available digitally. They're just not – I can't get them online. I can't stream them. I can't buy a digital copy of it. And I can't – because of copy protection, obviously there's ways around it, but it's quite the chore to then rip it and put it onto one of these services. But then if you put it onto one of these services, it's like, you can you can share around your house and stuff, but you can't take it with you. Do you know what I mean? Like it's this weird digital rights thing. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. But another thing that was simple about if we could go back to the Nano, another thing that was simple about that, even though it's like, being a wowser on tech that's 20 years old, that's come a long way. God. I mean, what's wrong with me? But the earbuds back then, do you remember them?
The wired
ones.
Yeah.
With the little volume control and all of that sort of stuff.
They never fit in my ears. I'd always have to go and buy other ones from another brand. I must have odd ear holes. But that's what my tank top was designed for. You put the Nano in the zippy pocket, little Nano size.
And then the cable in the holes.
Thread it up and
you could route the cabling through your clothing.
I know.
But I mean, now you've got AirPods, you've got noise-cancelling headphones, you've got to do the whole Bluetooth link-up thing. My AirPods, I don't know. I've got like a Gen 1 set of AirPods and I use it for watching TV in bed. And it'll sit on the charger all day.
Your
I'll
music
put it in
earrings.
and watch. Yeah, my son calls them the music earrings. And then I'll put them on and then I'll go to watch something and then it'll be like one is like 97% charged and the other's 3% charged.
How does that even happen?
Like, exactly. Not to mention the fact that Apple's top-of-the-line headphones, their top-of-the-line headphones are about $800 to $900.
What?
For headphones.
Oh, my gosh.
That's how much a computer should cost.
That you're just going to lose. Did you see they brought back pretty much what you used to put your glasses in so that you could hang your glasses around your neck? They brought those in for the
glasses chain
for your music
AirPods,
earrings so that you wouldn't lose them.
There's so many things on Community Notice boards. It's like, I was walking around the lake today and I just found a spare AirPod. If it's yours, DM me. Move over to the music portion of the program.
Pop your music earrings in. We're going on a ride.
And make sure both are charged at a minimum of 97% before you even start. Otherwise, you're only going to make it with one ear.
Don't you have to charge the case as well?
Yes, you charge
the headphones and the case.
You got to charge the case. You can charge the headphones. The case is not charged with the headphones back in the case. It is. It's just I'm stuck in this never-ending thing of charging.
Do they fit in the Nano pocket?
You could wedge them in there. I mean, if you've got a pair of stretch jeans, maybe. But also, because I'm a little bit neurodivergent, I'm fairly confident I'm neurodivergent. I can't handle anything that has less than 100% charge. It's just got to be 100% charged all the time or I'll wig out. I can't. Yes, screwed. I need to at least start with 100% of a charge.
You need to go back to the old earbuds.
Yes. Anyway, let's charge into the charts.
Okay, let's have a listen to the top 5 in the US.
Never go wrong if you let me hold you down like a real friend's supposed to. I'm trying to show you the light. I got a cute face, chubby waist. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you? Shake it off. 'Cause the loving ain't the same, and you keep on playing games like you know I'm here to stay. Shake it off. Just like who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody better. Oh, baby, baby, we belong together.
Oh, Mariah still holding steady, holding fast at number one for now.
She also has number 2.
Yes.
Shake It Off, not the Taylor version. Don't Cha, number 3. Lose Control, number 4. And Let Me Hold You, Bow Wow and Orion, number 5.
Lose Control, Missy Elliott, Don't You, Pussycat Dolls, and then other 2, Mariah.
Bit boring over here in Australia. Still Pussycat Dolls.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?
Yeah. Sorry. No. I don't. It's just a terrible song. It's very bad for men to be listening along and bopping along to because it can only lead to trouble.
You can't watch the video clip on your Nano either.
No.
It's dangerous.
No.
Very
Yeah,
dangerous.
I mean, the only person that sang in that group was Nicole Scherzinger.
That's what
she
Nicole
even
says.
said so.
Yeah, well, of course she says that.
Yes.
New number 1 over in the UK. I love this one.
You've got to press it on you. You just think it. That's what you do, baby. Hold it down, yeah.
I love Gorillaz. I love Gorillaz.
Me too.
Virtual band Gorillaz scored their first number 1 UK single with Dare, which is from the second album, Demon Days.
Demon Days, yes. That's their first number 1. Stayed there for 2 weeks. We've mentioned it before. It's a band that was created by Damon Albarn of Blur and artist Jamie Hewlett.
Yeah, so he drew Tank Girl. Or I don't know if he drew Tank Girl. He was a co-creator of the Tank Girl comics. I'd say that he must have had something to do with the drawing of it because the style of the art of the characters in Gorillaz
Does look very much like
Tank
that,
Girl,
doesn't it?
I love it. Beautiful.
And so the members of Gorillaz were all animated personas.
Yes.
There was 2D, there was Murdoch Nicalls, there was Noodle, Russell Hobbs.
Yes, he was on the drums.
Great toasters too.
Noodle was the Japanese prodigious guitar player. Murdoch was the creepy bass player and band leader. And 2D was, of course, the vocalist who was done by Damon Albarn from Blur. But in this one, Shaun Ryder is doing a lot of the singing in it. Shaun Ryder guested on it on Dare, and he was excellent. And then Damon Albarn just kind of did the backing vocals, but it was awesome. And the clip was really cool too.
Yeah, it was
That's why I
inside-
love their music videos.
Yeah, inside their animated HQ Kong studios and featured Noodle, the guitarist, on an exercise bike while Shaun Ryder's giant disembodied head is kept alive by tubes and machinery.
Yes, he was like
Very
a lab
creepy.
experiment. Yes.
Yes, kind of funny, kind of creepy.
I loved it.
Interesting fun fact that Ryder originally misheard Damon saying it's there, thinking he was saying it's dare. So they kept it, and that became the hook in the title of the song.
It did.
A mispronunciation.
It's there. I think that it is one of their best songs. I think it's great, but I love all of their stuff. They're still going too. They released an album in 2020 called Song Machine. They released another one in 2023 called Cracker Island. And they've just collaborated with so many people since. De La Soul, Mos Def, Elton John,
Bad Bunny?
Kali Uchis. I don't know who Kali Uchis is. I know who Bad Bunny is. And I think it's one of those things. I still think it's ahead of its time. Like if you think about what people are doing with AI and stuff like that. And I mean, obviously there's no AI as far as the music creation, but I like the idea of just letting the music speak for itself
virtual
through
band.
avatars.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of cool. And I think that it's probably more on the mark than what AI is because there is still real people and real artists
There's an artist,
behind it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's twofold. It's that visual art. It's visual art and it's music. And it's just a wonderful melding of minds. I truly, truly love Gorillaz and all the stuff that they do. And I would love the opportunity to go and see them in concert. With the projections and all of that stuff. I think that would be fabulous.
Another melding of minds that happened this week 20 years ago. Michael Jackson called in some mates. He revealed that he'd written a charity single called From the Bottom of My Heart to support Hurricane Katrina victims. Inspired by the images of the devastation.
That's right. He was sitting up at Neverland Ranch.
Watching the images of the devastation.
Sipping on Jesus juice. He just finished.
What can I do to help?
Yeah, he's like,
what can I do?
That's so terrible.
I need to help.
Look at the devastation.
I'm going to write a song to convey a message of heart and hope and donate the proceeds to all the different funds.
And I'm going to get my friends to join me.
My
I'm going to call
BFFs.
up my friends. And I don't know, Michael Jackson in 2005 calling up friends, is they? Let's say he rings up Mariah Carey, brr, brr. Hello, Mariah speaking. Hi, it's Michael Jackson. Sorry, who? No, I think this is the wrong number. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, friends.
Some people were distancing
quite
themselves.
loosely. Yes.
But he was like,
he reckoned.
He's going to get
name
Mariah.
dropped
He's going to get Snoop Dogg.
Jay-Z.
Yes. Mary J. Blige.
Missy Elliott.
Lauren Hill.
Sierra.
Yeah, the OJs. I don't think
what's an OJ?
Well, he's the guy that was in the Ford Bronco in the police chase. That's the only OJ I know. I don't know the OJs. I don't know if that's a group or what.
I don't know either. But they were apparently going to join in with this collaboration. But Michael, no, you're wrong about Neverland. He was living in the Middle East.
Actually, yes,
at this
he was.
Stage.
He'd relocated. He'd skipped the country to escape to escape the heat from the press and gone to the heat of the Middle East.
He was trying to coordinate the artists via satellite and telephone. And they were apparently recording or going to record in LA and other locations while he was on the satellite phone critiquing them and guiding them through it.
The whole thing was a debacle.
He wanted to release it very quickly to raise money, but of course there were delays.
There were lots of delays. It was a debacle. Apparently it wasn't finalised, never got released, led to some speculating that the project may have fallen apart. You think? Yes, it did. It never went to market. There was never a release date. The track remains largely a promised or an urban legend rather than a finished product. And I think instead of his project, they did a whole bunch of other stuff like Come Together Now, which was a various artist compilation album type thing for Katrina relief. But there have been talks and utterances of it, and some people have claimed
There's some recordings somewhere?
Put recordings up of it on YouTube and whatnot, all of which I think are fake. But one of my favourites is somebody has gone so far as to use the magic of modern technology and artificial intelligence to just get Michael Jackson in this day and age via the magic of AI to perform it.
There's no need to say it right, 'cause I know you're always on my mind. You fly to the other side. I'll be every night. We can no longer.
Jesus Christ. So there it is. There it is.
Where's
in all its
all the
artificially
friends?
intelligent
No
glory.
friends. They didn't AI any of the friends in there.
No, they didn't AI
want to
any
get
friends.
sued.
I don't think they wanted to get sued, so they just used the dead guy. But
that's all right.
it is. Well, I mean, it sounds like him.
Does.
It's quite nonsensical.
It's a bit tinny though. It sounds like the treble's up a bit too high.
and the backing band is shit house. Terrible. Terrible.
Well, he was directing them via satellite. What do you expect?
Exactly. Or maybe his consciousness has been uploaded to the internet and that's the best he can do.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So it's basically a ghost track. It doesn't exist as far as we know. Never released. Somebody's probably searching for it like all those ET game cartridges that were once buried out in the desert or something like that. And why not open up the boombox?
Sure.
I think it's a good time to do it. If you've never been here before and you want to sort of understand what's happening, just come in. This is a safe space.
Take a seat.
I know it's got a big scary name, but it is a safe space. The boombox is where you go to put all your boomer complaints into action, to voice them,
It's like
free
a
of
complaints
judgment.
box.
Yeah.
Remember the complaints
It is
box.
a bit like the complaints box.
Still love a complaints box.
And possibly even a suggestions box. But we're not
Yes.
necessarily looking for what to do. It's just an opportunity to vent. I mean, if you bring a solution with your problem as well, like great, wonderful, thanks
perfect.
for sharing. But whatever happens, you will be free from judgment and persecution here. You will be free from any smart ass looking you dead in your eye after you've dropped your complaint and just going, okay, boomer. Because we don't do that here. We celebrate your booms. So send them in to us. You can DM us your booms. T-20 podcast across all the socials platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's it.
Yes.
Not there are other platforms, but I'm not sure what they are.
You don't understand.
Because I'm a borderline boomer.
Okay. We have one from Kachi.
Kachi. Thanks, Kachi. Kachi doesn't sound like a boomer name.
Kachi is not bringing a complaint.
Kachi sounds like a
Is
pressure
not
washer.
Bringing
a
suggestion. It's more bringing a revelation.
A revelation.
A revelation
A
to the
boomer
boom
revelation.
box.
Sure, we can accept a revelation.
Are you ready for this? Because I think
Absolutely.
this is going to blow your mind.
Hit me.
All right. So basically, companies pay YouTube to show ads, and we pay YouTube to not show ads.
Wow. You just blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a good point.
Isn't that funny? it's like people are paying for ads so that other people, and then so that because like the people that are watching the platforms are the currency that the platforms use to sell the ads, and then they're going back and they're like, hey, we've got all these ads and we know they're annoying and you know they're annoying, but they're our bread and butter. But for a small fee,
You can pay. to
you
not
can be
watch
less
the ads.
annoyed by not watching our ads.
And I think I was about to say, well, really, ads are handy. That's when you go to the dunny. But I guess these days people are taking whatever they're watching with them to the dunny.
Yes.
So you don't need the ad break to go to the dunny because you're not interrupting your show anyway, really, are you?
No, but you'll be in the right place because they do give you the shits. Over to the box office tonight. We're at peak Jason Statham in the year 2005.
Oh, weren't we just?
Peak Statham.
Yeah.
Where he's
it's good time.
transcended the career of the Olympic diver. He's shaved his head and he's become an action hero.
Was he an Olympic diver?
He was an Olympic diver.
Was he
Jason
was
Statham.
he good?
Yes.
Obviously good to go to the Olympics. But
Yes, he represented
in the
his
Olympics,
country.
did he win a medal?
I don't know that he
Or
won
did
a medal.
he make a big splash? Was he
look-
a splasher?
That is, his diving career is not something that I have followed as close as his film career.
It's a shame.
Because, like I said,
questions.
for me, 2005 is peak Statham.
right.
So there's probably some diving fans who would argue that maybe the
That's not-
90s
that's not peak
was peak
Statham.
Statham when he was doing half axles with a twist and a
Was he
pike at
doing
the
it
end.
with a partner? There's so many diving questions I have now. You know, when there's two of them, that makes me so stressed out because I think, what if?
the
Imagine if you're
synchronised diving.
Imagine if you're the one that cocks up the timing and then you ruin the other person's
You
chance.
throw the other person out of sync. I mean, it was a
gosh.
team thing, you know.
Gosh,
I don't know
no.
how that
So
works.
much pressure.
I don't understand the
So much
science.
pressure. All right, well,
behind
let's
diving.
dive into his movie
Oh, I
career then,
see
shall
what
we?
you've
Did you
done
like
there.
that?
Wow.
So what's peak movie Statham up to this week?
Well, it's the Transporter was a big film for
yes,
him.
yes,
And
yes.
it was so successful that in 2005, on the 9th of September, the number one film at the US box office was Transporter 2.
Hello. You have 2 hours to get me $20 million in non-sequential $100 bills. 2 hours, Mr. Billings. Starting now. We don't know who we're dealing with. We think the driver may be in on it.
That's impossible.
Now,
He could have been setting this up the whole time and you wouldn't have known any different.
Got him.
The best in the business.
Is it stable?
Yes, it's stable. Good. He's back in the game.
What do you know?
It's more than a kidnapping.
What are you gonna do?
Find the guy responsible.
He's your friend?
Yeah, big action. Jason Statham versus physics. That's the plot, basically. It's pretty out of control. He plays Frank Martin, the ex-Special Forces driver, not diver, driver. I think maybe that's kind of how he just kind of lucked into this. Might have been a typo. He's like, oh, transporter. Yeah, you play a diver. He's like, sweet. Oh, no, that's a
Perfect.
typo. You actually play a driver. Oh, I'm not qualified for that. But he's obviously that far gone that he's lied on he hasn't lied on the application. It was a typo. It was a big misunderstanding. So he took the role anyway, and the rest is history. He is in Miami this time. In the first one, he was in France. He's a chauffeur for a wealthy family. He gets caught up when a child is kidnapped and then taken by international drug traffickers. And, of course, then it just goes ballistic.
Lots of driving things.
He drives cars, he flips vehicles, he knocks bombs over, he redefines physics.
Great.
Really. Breaks the laws of them left, right and centre. Saves the boy, sorts the bad guys, bioweapon plot and all that sort of stuff, and looks awesome doing it. The budget was around $32 million. They raised about $89 million worldwide. So they did pretty well. Tripled the budget. Big success. The critics, nobody gave a shit, really. It was 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, but people watched it. Jason Statham. It was peak Statham.
Well,
you know what I like too? You go first.
No, you finish what you were going to say.
No, you go.
Well, I want to talk about peak diving Statham.
Okay.
I've got some information for those of you like me who care more about his diving career.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the Olympics. He represented England at the 1990 Commonwealth Games.
Oh, it's Commonwealth Games.
Where he placed 8th in the 1 metre springboard.
Oh, that's terrible.
And 11th in the 3 metre and 10 metre events. So he was quite versatile then, 1 metre, 3 metre and 10 metre. I thought you needed to be, I thought they were different skill sets higher up you go.
It's the Commonwealth Games. It's like it's them and all the countries that they've conquered, isn't it?
He was in the British National Diving Squad for 12 years, and his interest began when he witnessed a high dive during a family holiday in Florida. And he represented England at the Commonwealth Games in New Zealand.
Right.
He came close to qualifying for the Olympics in 1988, 1992 and 1996. So he was very determined, but he never made the team, although he did place well during the trials. Maybe if he just focused on one height instead of trying to do all three, maybe that's the problem. He was getting confused at the different heights.
Yeah, right.
So that's his diving career,
We
everybody.
circle back to the film, and I love the absurdity of the film, and I particularly like that grab with the bad guy at the start, where he's like, "You have 2 hours to give me $2 million in $100 non-sequential bills." And next time I go to the bank,
You're going to demand that?
Instead of going to the ATM, I'm going to walk into the branch and I'm going to say, I would like $40 in $5 notes in non-sequential bills, just to sound cool.
Just to see the reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there he goes.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big
there's a bit of a
splash.
splash
I knew
there.
it.
I mean,
I knew
everyone's
he'd-
an expert on diving.
I knew he'd be a splasher.
Yeah, he's a splasher.
Just knew it. Here in Australia, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is number 1 at the box office, which we've spoken about before. But we had a big win. The Golden Lion was up for grabs this week.
It's the Venice Film Festival.
20 years ago.
Yes.
And a little movie by the name of Brokeback Mountain.
That one.
Wins.
The top one, the
top
Golden Lion.
prize.
Ang Lee, of course,
This is
the
when
director.
We first heard of Brokeback Mountain.
The gay cowboy movie that made everyone cry.
Yes, and made Oscars history.
Yes. Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal, set in the 60s in Wyoming. Ennis and Jack they played, and they fell in love while they were working as shepherds on Brokeback Mountain, much to the relief of the sheep. They were just like, oh, thank God. Thank God they found each other. I was getting nervous.
They had a secret relationship for 20 years
Yes.
and they were married. Both of them were married to women. Michelle Williams. Oh, is that where Heath met Michelle Williams? Oh, there you go.
I think so. It's quite the
And Anne
tragedy. Have
Hathaway.
you seen it?
I haven't.
It's really sad.
Is it? Did you cry?
Yeah, it's, the repression and the secrecy and the ramifications of the relationship and the effect that it has on their wives and their families. And it's just, the fact that society wouldn't accept them, and the famous line in there of like, I wish I knew how to quit you, and all of that sort of stuff. It was very groundbreaking at the time.
It was the first mainstream Hollywood movie to portray a gay romance, not as a joke or a side plot, but as the central love
With
story.
Two actors who were absolute heartthrobs at the time.
Yeah, and
as
also
well.
both pretty much at their peak too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it smashed a lot of boundaries, toxic masculinity, homophobia, repression. It took all of it on. And Ledger and Gyllenhaal, I think, a lot of people say it was career defining for them, but I disagree with that. I don't think it was a career defining performance from either of them.
They were both very well
I think
established.
they're really
by
good
the
actors.
stage.
I think they were really good actors and they did great. And I think people went a little bit over the top because of the subject matter and because they wanted to, because I guess because they wanted to be woke to a degree. And I'm not trying to downplay the movie. It's a fabulous movie, but and it's got a great message behind it. But, I mean, to say it was a defining role, I think, is a bit of a stretch. Having said that, nominated for 8 Oscars, won 3. Best Director, Adapted Screenplay, Original Score. Lost Best Picture, though, to Crash, which is one of the big decisions that the Academy hotly debate even to this day.
Big controversy,
It made, I mean, you think Jason Statham did well, you know, with his war against physics, post-high diving exploits as the transporter. This one made $178 million worldwide on a $14 million budget.
Wow.
Huge.
And also for the subject matter as well.
I think one of my favourite things, because it was very controversial at the time, and you've probably seen this online before, but Ledger is at a press conference, and there's a journalist there that disagrees with the subject matter of the film, and the way he handles or basically hands the arse of the journalist back to him is fabulous.
This is disgusting.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I think I think it's a real shame. I think it's immature, for one, really immature. But I think it's an incredible shame that people go out of their way to discuss or to voice their disgust, I should say, or negative opinions about the way two people wish to love one another. I mean, come on. I mean, at least voice your opinions on how two people show hate and violence and anger towards each other. Isn't that more important? I think so. So I don't know, and it doesn't really concern me. I think it's a shame, but I also feel that I also feel like it'll surprise people. It's not particularly a story. I mean, it's obviously about two men in love, and it's obviously gay themed, and it's very easily labeled. But unfortunately, people are very quick in life to label something that they're uncomfortable with. The pure fact of it is it transcends a label. It's human. It's a story of two human beings, two souls that are in love. It's like, get over the fact that there's two men. That's the point. The movie is not a story about an epidemic or a virus or something that can be cured in hospital. We're showing that love between two men is just as infectious and emotional and strong and pure as it is with heterosexual love. And if you can't understand that, then just don't go see the movie. It's okay. We don't care. It's like, deal with it in your own private life. Don't voice it out, It's like, we don't want to know, and it's really boring and old and whatever, But we're very proud of it, and I think it's transcended that,
Yeah.
Good on him.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down, ignorant journalist. I just love how dignified and articulate and how gentle he is with his response to somebody going, "That's disgusting." You can hear that he's clearly agitated by the comment, but just the way he handles it is, I mean, he was just such an old soul, I think, and just one of those. I mean, people like Heath Ledger, actors like him, come along like once in a lifetime. He's one of those once in a lifetime actors, and it's such a tragedy. Every time I hear or see stuff that he's done, I just think, oh, what a waste, because he was so great. But anyway. Let's go over to TV news. This was a gay guy that nobody liked. Nobody liked this gay guy at all.
Richard Hatch.
That's right.
The Survivor winner is, this week, 20 years ago, indicted for tax evasion.
Yes.
He was the first ever winner of Survivor back in 2000. I think Survivor Borneo.
Yes, the inaugural.
He was the nude guy.
Always.
He ripped off his clothes around camp, and I think the other people were just, oh, can you please put some clothes on?
Hatch had instant fame, making the talk show rounds, even writing a book. One thing he didn't do, according to federal prosecutors, was declare his winnings to the IRS. Hatch, who ran around buck naked on the show, was also allegedly caught with his fiscal pants down for failing to declare $321,000 he made from a Boston radio show. How serious are the charges?
And the amount of money that Mr. Hatch has been alleged to have evaded is quite large. So this is a very serious matter.
Hatch isn't alone with tax woes. Some lottery winners have failed to pay, and even those lucky folks who received free cars on the Oprah Winfrey Show face an extra $7,000 bite from the tax man. Meanwhile, Richard Hatch could face 5 years in prison on each of 2 counts, although he is expected to get less than the maximum as part of a plea deal. For Good Morning America, I'm Heather Cabot, ABC News.
I liked the caught with his fiscal pants down.
Fiscal pants
like what
down.
you did there,
Yeah,
you
that
witty
was
journalist. Yeah, so on the 8th of September, the federal grand jury indicted Hatch on 10 counts of tax evasion and fraud. The IRS alleged that he never paid taxes on his $1 million survivor winnings. And at least he had money. At least he had $1 million to pay tax on. Imagine being over there and winning a car, for example, and then not being able to afford to win the car because you can't pay the tax on the car.
Yeah, that's tricky.
Yes.
He also, as they mentioned, won something on a radio show to the tune of around 320,000.
Yeah.
And didn't report that.
Or
his rental income. So, you know, you can kind of go, oh, maybe you didn't know for the TV show, but I think you'd know
he's just
for
not
rental
done his tax.
income. Yes.
That's right.
And
he's not gone to H&R Block.
He then said that CBS had promised to pay the taxes on his prize.
And they were
they're
like, no, that's BS. Why would you believe that guy? He's the most notorious villain on Survivor. He won that money through deception.
Yes. He also claimed that he was confused about his tax responsibilities. And he was also accused of diverting charity funds from a youth program that he ran in Rhode Island. Bail was set at $50,000. And you know what? He was actually convicted and sentenced to 51 months in federal prison and ordered to pay over $450,000 in back taxes.
He went. He did about.
He did hard time.
He did about 3 years in jail. Yeah. And then I think I think in 2011 he violated probation. He got another 9 months.
Yeah,
he's been in and out of prison a lot. Like
he wouldn't have been popular in prison either.
You know, you win $1 million, you think, oh, I'm set for life. This is my pathway to success. Not the case for Richard Hatch, who didn't pay his tax.
No. Well, media loved it, of course. They had a field day.
Yes.
And it further cemented his image as one of reality TV's most notorious figures. Even Jeff, the host, said it was embarrassing.
Yeah, so I feel like that there's a missed crossover here between Survivor and Lost, because you can just like find out what's in the hatch. It's like not a lot of money. Oh my Lord, we've got books as well. Oh, there's just too much this week.
Yes, New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, a book we didn't read. We didn't read this one.
On the fiction list, Chill Factor by Sandra Brown.
Chill Factor by Sandra Brown. What is it? Is it a...
I think it's a bit of a murder mystery.
Murder mystery. All right. Well, say no more. It's a murder mystery from Power Music Factory. Over
Very
there on
murdery,
YouTube.
very mystery.
It's your go-to place for lots of copyright-free music tracks so you don't get in trouble. You
You
ready?
don't go to jail like Richard.
That's right. Cleary, North Carolina, is a sleepy mountain town. The kind of place where criminal activity is usually limited to parking violations. Not so lately. 4 women have disappeared from Cleary over the past 2 years, and there's always a blue ribbon left near the spot where each of the women was last seen. There are no bodies, no clues, and no suspicion as to who their abductor might be, and now another woman has disappeared without a trace. That's all I've got for a synopsis.
Very murdery.
I don't even know the name of the protagonist. I don't know who the lead character is. I got nothing.
I think I forgot to copy the next paragraph.
Oh,
actually, But
really?
it looked a bit boring.
Well, I think we've got enough.
I think
we've got
Chris-
enough to see what the good people
I
of Goodreads
think
have to
Chris
say.
One Star will shed some light on what the book was all about. Chris One Star. This book reads like it smells like a... Honestly, my time would have been better spent masturbating to internet porn.
Wow, Chris One Star, you've got some issues, mate.
Chris One Star. Yeah, a lot of people were upset with Chris One Star's review and reviewed Chris One Star's 1-star review.
Oh.
Gail, for one.
Gail, yes.
Wow, you kiss your mum with that mouth? Unnecessary vulgar language.
Indeed. Christopher One Star.
Serena.
Very good.
Agree with Gail. This is the kind of review that will turn people away from Goodreads. And God forbid a younger, impressionable individual be on here seeing such trash.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that impressionable young people should be reading Chill Factor by Sandra Brown anyway, but I'm not sure. And based on Chris's review, I mean, I don't think they're going to.
Diana wished there was an option to report the review of inappropriate language.
It's interesting because he doesn't actually use any swears in his review.
Quite graphic, though.
So he's kind of got around that. I think Vicky agreed as well.
Vicky, I agree the language of this review was in extremely poor taste. I just love that Chris's 1-star review got 4 reviews.
Yes, well, Abby gave the book a 1-star review and said the language got a little too strong for me, so I quit. So the language in the book wasn't great either.
I hope Abby didn't read Chris 1-star's review.
Yes.
She'd quit Goodreads.
And then Amanda gave it 1 star, and she described it as a piece of, quote, literature, spelt Literachorr. Literature. It was enormous. I love this. And I need to start to use the word feculent more in my life. It was an enormous piece of feculent nonsense. That is quality.
Feculent.
That is so
That's
quality.
much better than the... Susan gave it a 1/2 star. Even though it appeared as 1 star, Susan then clarified and went, no, it's only half, but I can't do a half on the Goodreads. So I'm explaining in my review that it's a 1/2 star.
Uh-huh.
The romance and sex scenes are unnecessary to the story.
Oh, right. So we'll skip over them.
Too rude.
Maybe
For Susan half
if the
star.
romance and the sex scenes were a little feculent. Let's go to the Hatches, Matches and Dispatches section of the podcast. I'm really interested in whether or not you could use the word feculent in a positive review. Like, this podcast.
It was feculent hot or something.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know about feculent, but this podcast is definitely the
Maybe.
Yeah. Just go to the clue. I don't know. I'm trying too hard. I'm clutching
It's a nice word. It feels nice to say, feculent.
Feculent.
It feels nice in your body as it comes out.
It feels nice to say. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's a comfortable word to say.
Let's do the clue. Celebrity having a birthday. That said this.
Just kidding. Environmental regulations are job killers.
Yeah.
I'm a small business owner, I know.
That's them in a sitcom. I think the sitcom is a hint. However, that's them a lot older in a sitcom, in a sort of a one-off kind of cameo appearance. Who is it, Mel?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Teen Idol.
JTT, celebrating a birthday on the 8th of September. Obviously, teen idol of the 90s in Home Improvement. All over TV hits. Smash hits, JTT, and you could cut him out and put him on your folder.
Oh, yeah, he was very cute.
Stickers,
yes.
there's always stickers of him.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes if I don't style my fringe properly, I look like I have a Jonathan Taylor Thomas hairstyle.
Is that right?
When my fringe sort of parts in the middle,
no.
it looks like he's... Remember that hairdo in the 90s that guys had? Kind of looked like a tent that was open. Like the tent... thing open at the front.
So I can't unsee that. And all the intimacy just instantly left our relationship right with what you said just then. Every time. I'm going to see Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Famous
really
Randy
bad.
Taylor.
Oh, I bet he is.
Right, taking a middle son on Home Improvement.
Yeah.
He was also the voice of young Simba in Disney's Lion King in 1994.
Oh, that was I just can't wait to be king. And then, his dad dies and it's like, careful what you wish for.
Obviously, heartthrob across all the magazines. He was in Man of the House with Chevy Chase, Tom and Huck, Wild America.
I remember Wild America. That was a big film for him.
Everyone loved him. But then, late 90s, he just disappeared, stepped away from Hollywood.
It all got a bit too much for him. It all
Left
became
Home
a bit
Improvement.
feculent.
Studied philosophy and history at Harvard. Wanted to focus on his education. Did a stint at St Andrews in Scotland and then later attended Columbia University, basically choosing books over blockbusters.
That's right. Probably
And
started doing a few Goodreads reviews.
Possibly.
Here, there, and everywhere.
Possibly.
Yeah. He's pretty low profile now, isn't he? He
doesn't
get
do
out
interviews or anything like that. He does pop up occasionally. So what was that grab that you got?
I think that was from Tim Allen's Last Man Standing because he was obviously played his son on Home Improvement. So there's some other scenes in that particular episode. He's like, "You look so familiar," which is the little in joke, which everyone. Then you get that sitcom laughter. Cue the sitcom laughter.
Right.
In front of a live studio audience.
I think he lives in California. Goes other places as well, apparently. Yeah. But enjoying life outside the spotlight.
Good for him. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Time for us to step out of the spotlight and back into our normal lives because that's the end of the show.
Yes.
It's not much of a spotlight. It's more like a, I don't know, like just a
strobe.
Yeah, I was thinking it's more like the lamp inside the oven.
A touch lamp. A touch lamp on the first touch. The first touch, when it's dim?
It's like the one in the fridge that's on the fridge.
The first touch is just dim. It's the third one that's really bright. Yeah, so we're just like, setting one.
Dim ones.
Setting one on the touch lamp.
Dim and feculent.
From Copper Art.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in for yet another week. We do appreciate you immensely. We love you dearly. Anything happening next week, dear?
Oh, I think we're going to Disneyland.
We're going to Disneyland.
Yeah. Disneyland Hong Kong's grand opening.
Oh, well, that sounds like a good time.
And
I love amusement parks. Not. Oh, God. I just did a knot. Why did I do a knot?
How old are you?
Yeah.
Did you just go back to the 90s?
Pretty old.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what did they say? That back in the day, podcasting was Wayne's World for frustrated radio people. I don't know. Anyway, what else? Anything?
I'm trying to remember.
You're trying
My memory's
to
not
remember.
so good. Oh, I think eBay bought Skype.
Oh, eBay did buy Skype, which I thought was weird.
Brittany had her first baby.
There you go.
That's exciting.
That's worth the price of admission alone. Say no more. Come and find us on the socials during the week if you do want to say more, though. T-20 podcast. Send us a DM. Send us a boom. Have a look. Yeah. Join in the fun and frivolity of all the posts that we put up. There's always something happening over there during the week just to get you through.
That's a bit of pressure. There's not always something. It's just when I feel like it.
A couple of days a week when we feel like it.
And then maybe I'll share other people's stuff that's not mine because I'm not that witty.
That's good.
That much time.
But you're curating content and, and it's
I'm a nostalgia curator.
That's right. It's better than all the AI shit that you have to look at these days. So get over there and enjoy some of that and we'll enjoy it as well. And thanks and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for taking the time to rewind. Join us next time for another week that was 20 years ago. In the meantime, come and reminisce on the socials. Search for T-20 Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.